Hello and welcome to this episode of I Don't Know Jack About Parenting, where today I just want to talk about missed opportunities.
So the big question is this: how are parents like us, who don't have a manual, who are doing the best we can, who feel as though we aren't enough, how are we going to raise healthy, happy children who we are proud of and still keep our sanity in that process? That's the question, and this podcast will give you the answers. My name is Ryan Roy, and welcome to I Don't Know Jack About Parenting, a podcast for parents who are being real with themselves.
Hello and welcome back to this episode of I Don't Know Jack About Parenting, where today I want to talk about missed opportunities as a parent. I was talking to a friend today, and he has a coworker who just came back from maternity leave, and as a dedicated father and someone who I've coached now for the last few years, I coached him off and on. So I coached him before he was a father, and then he came back. It was interesting. He said, money's a little bit tight. I have a daughter now. And then she was just about a little over a year old when he came back. And he says, I don't know what the heck I'm doing in this parenting thing. And at that point, I started coaching him in that area of his life. And now he has an amazing relationship with his daughter. And he shared with me just today a couple things that happened over their holiday break that just melted his heart. One, his little girl, they went to go see a movie, and apparently there's a couple scary parts for a 3-year-old, and mom was sitting between him and his daughter, and every time she got a little afraid, she'd get out of her chair and come and sit on daddy's lap, with that sense of security. So anyway, and I forget off the top of my head the other thing he shared with me, but what he shared with me is his coworker came back to work and he said, hey, how are you doing? And as she started diving back into work in the corporate world, where she's been behind for 3 months and her company cut her emails off and gave her access a couple weeks ago, and she says she's whittled it down to 3,000 emails that she's got to go through. And she goes, wow, it's just been a whirlwind. And he goes, no. What I'm asking is, this is your first day back and you're away from your child for the first time. How are you doing as a mom? And she kind of said, I hadn't really had time to think about it. Shared a few things with him and thanked him for even thinking of that, right? But then she went on to say, my husband really stepped up. I've never seen him sweep before since we've been together, and he swept the floor today or last night. And she goes, and then he gave the daughter her first bottle from him in 3 months. And as my client, obviously we're not going to critique anybody else's parenting style, but as he was sharing it with me, he goes, man, I was just biting my lip, because I know I was that same dad. I didn't know what to do. I was lost. And I supported my wife as best I could. But all I could think of is, man, that dad's missing out on some opportunities. And we don't know what we don't know as parents. And that, especially as men, we don't have that motherly instinct. So in my book, Be the Dad You Wish You Had, chapter 2 is do skin to skin. The very first thing I say, if you find out you're going to be a father, start doing some research, educate yourself. But after that, as soon as that baby comes out the womb, connect. And if you connect with your child early and often, you'll form a bond. And I didn't know this with my first child. I did do skin to skin, but I don't think I was as connected because I didn't know any better. And dads out there, if you're listening and you're pre-birth or you're expecting other ones, I suggest chapter 3 is change diapers. I mean, there's a reason you change diapers, because it's an unconditional love. And when you look at that child and that child's in need, right? It doesn't have any needs. It needs food, it needs love, and it needs to be comforted, and comforting is getting rid of that poopy diaper. And if it sees mom changing and dad changing and mom changing and you guys are interchangeable, there's a trust and a bond that's built, that child, whether it's a he or she, knows that you're there for them for anything. It's not conditional love, because if it always sees mom's feeding me and mom's changing me and mom's feeding me and mom's changing me and mom's hugging me and mom's loving me and mom's putting me down, I know there's unconditional love there. But where's that guy that sits over in the corner? Who's that guy? I mean, he's here. I think he likes me. He seems to like mom, although mom yells at him a lot, right? But these are missed opportunities. So fortunately for me, as you guys know, I work, if you're a new listener, I work from home. I'm a life coach by trade. I've written this book. I'm huge on relationships, and what better relationship to work on than a parenting to child relationship. And that's why I love doing these podcasts, is I'm in that season of my life where I have two little ones, an 8 and a 2-year-old. But that 2-year-old got absolutely spoiled as mom and dad were home for those first 3 months. I essentially put my business on halt. I served my clients I had, but I wasn't looking for any other clients, and I wasn't doing much of anything else in those first 3 months of his life. And I am not joking. That baby laid on my chest, as babies, all they do is sleep and eat and poop. He laid on my chest on average, and I'm not overestimating this, about 6 hours a day for the first 3 months of his life, without fail, each and every day. And that boy will curl up on me at 26 months like you wouldn't believe. And it's daddy this and daddy that and daddy this and daddy that, and daddy changes them and daddy bathes them and daddy feeds them and daddy prepares and daddy gets his snacks, and every time he reaches his little arms up, daddy picks him up. Because I don't want to miss any opportunities. And I hope, the reason I do this podcast is a dad may be sitting around is like, what opportunities do I have? The child raises his hands to you to pick me up. He's saying, I want you, I desire you, I love you, I need you. Don't deny that, even if it's inconvenient. Just reach down and pick him up. Pick her up. And do it every single time, because then they know I can trust and rely and depend on this person. Those are opportunities. If you have an opportunity to change your child, bathe your child, talk to your child, read to your child, do something every single day with your child so they know they can trust you. My wife walks in the house. If I'm in the house and let's say he comes home about the same time, I'm actually about to pick him up right now. I'm in the parking lot of the school as I'm recording this in my car. And I'm going to pick him up and I'm going to get in the car, and by the time I get home, my wife will be home and she'll get him like water. That's kind of his thing. He may get a snack. And you know what he says? He gets behind me and pushes me. And he's like, Daddy, play with me. Or Daddy, sit down with me. Daddy, let's lay on the couch. Like, he just wants to be with Daddy. And I freaking love that. And I don't want to miss those opportunities. I don't know jack about parenting, but I know you only have so many moments with your children. Make the best of them. We'll see you in the next episode.
Do you want to be the dad you wish you had? If so, go get my free book, Be the Dad You Wish You Had, at BeTheDadYouWishYouHad.com. Inside, you'll find my most effective 40 tips to quickly and easily transform yourself into the ideal dad. Go to BeTheDadYouWishYouHad.com now and get it while it's free.